welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a weight loss Q&A. The kids are off school. There's officially Christmas holidays, so they're at home and I've basically been locked away in my bedroom to film a video for you guys, and I thought why not just ask you guys to ask me some weight loss questions, because you know, I get loads of questions all the time, and I thought let's just do a weight loss Q&A. I asked you guys on Instagram, so yeah, that's what today's video is. I'm going to be answering your weight loss questions. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment down below a Christmas tree, because it is nearly Christmas. It is so close to Christmas, guys. Oh my god. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and click the bell button. If you don't know who I am and this is the first video of mine you're watching, hello, my name is Louise. I used to be morbidly obese. I weighed 269 pounds and I went on a weight loss journey in January of 2020 where I counted my calories, moved more, exercised and just changed my whole lifestyle, and I ended up losing 120 pounds and I maintained it. I did a bikini competition, I've reverse dieted and gained body fat and have just been maintaining and building muscle, and I share my journey here on YouTube. I share everything on YouTube. I share what I eat, I share my weight loss tips, I share things that I've learned, I share just random stuff, I share stuff about fitness, I answer your weight loss questions. I do so much stuff here on YouTube to do with weight loss, health, fitness, changing your lifestyle and just living a healthier life basically. So if that's anything that you're interested in, then be sure that you are subscribed and you click the bell button so you receive a notification every time I upload. If you guys hear any like noise or anything, it's my kids. I can't really help it, they're just, you know, playing around or whatever, and I might have to keep pausing and sorting them out because about every 5 minutes I get mom, so obviously then I've got to go sort them out. So if you see loads of cuts and stuff, or if I have to stop the question and then like come back to it, that's why. How did you stop smoking cold turkey? Any cravings, tips, etc.? Thank you, hon. So for context, I used to be a smoker. I would smoke literally like 20 a day, which is quite bad, isn't it? But yeah, I used to be quite a heavy smoker, and when I decided to lose weight, I'd already cut down a lot on my smoking before I decided to lose weight, to be fair. I did cut down on the smoking, but I was still a smoker. When I decided to lose weight, I stopped smoking like cold turkey, like I just completely stopped. I did notice I had suffered obviously from really bad headaches, like it was so bad, but it was also where I changed my diet at the same time. So the first like couple of weeks I was suffering really bad with like migraines and headaches. I had cravings for fags, and every time I felt stressed and stuff, I did like feel the first instinct was to smoke. Same with like eating as well, so I couldn't do either one of them. It was pretty hard, to be fair, because like I got into a routine of every time I woke up in the morning, the first thing I would do would be to smoke. So it was more like habits. Like I noticed when I stopped smoking cold turkey, it made me actually really hyper aware of what my habits were, like at what point I would reach for a cigarette, if that makes sense. And I just had to find other things to do and keep my hands busy. So I can't remember exactly what I did, to be fair. What did I do? I think going to the gym massively helped, especially going on the treadmill and walking on an incline. Like my chest was like proper hurting because of where I was a heavy smoker, and the longer I went without a cigarette, it felt better, and the more exercise I was doing, it started to feel better. So that made me stay on it, but I was just completely done. I was done with being unhealthy, and I know smoking was really unhealthy for me, and so was like overeating and stuff. I don't know how I did it, to be fair, like thinking back on it I don't know, but I just completely stopped. And I did have cravings and stuff, but you just kind of have to persevere through it, and it is uncomfortable, but it gets easier. It gets harder before it gets easier, but it does eventually get easier. And there was eventually days where I was going through the day when I wouldn't have to think about a fag, and now I don't. Like it did take a long time though, because even after like a year or two, sometimes when I get really stressed, I would think, oh, I just want to have a fag, because it was just the like one of my coping mechanisms that I used to use. But now I use going out for walks as a coping mechanism. I go to the gym, I like to lift weights, I like to have like self-care. So I will, like, if I'm feeling quite stressed and stuff, if I can, I will run myself a bubble bath and like put a face mask on, light candles, and just like try to listen to relaxing music. And then like I'll just practice loads of self-care and like just me time and going out for a nice walk, doing other things other than trying to cope with either smoking or eating. Are people nicer to thin people? I don't know, but from personal experience, I do feel like people do treat me nicer now than what they did before, especially guys. I think it's just because they find... Can you hear my kids? I think it's just because they find me more attractive now than what they did before, so men are just nicer in general. People... I don't know about like just general people, but I feel like people just seem more friendly. But I don't know if that's because I've worked on myself and I am more confident and I'm more sociable, so it could play a part in it as well. So yeah, I can't say 100%, but I think I would say a little bit. Do you worry that you may gain the weight back? No, I don't think I'll ever get back to the size I was at before. Only way that that would happen is if I completely gave up on life and I was like, forget it, I don't care about my life anymore, and just completely unlearn everything that I've learned. I just don't see how it would how that would ever happen. I would have to be in a really bad mental space and be like, I don't want to do anything that makes me feel good, and I don't want to do anything that makes me happy. I want to be unhappy, and I want to like just, that's the only way that would happen, and I don't ever see that happening. The only way I will ever get to the size I was at before is if I literally go back to my old lifestyle and change my lifestyle that I already got now. And I'm living the lifestyle I live now. I'm so much more happier, I'm so much more fulfilled, and I enjoy it so much more. So I just don't ever see myself going back. I might like regain a little bit of weight, like I don't know, I might gain a few pounds here and there, maybe when I'm not in the best mental headspace where I'm going through situations or anything like that. I might put on a little bit of weight, but I know how, I have the understanding and the knowledge of how to lose it. And I feel like I'm able to reflect back and like take a step back and be like, okay, I can assess the situation, I'm gaining a bit of weight, it's time for me to rein it in a little bit and be a little bit more stricter, and I know exactly what to do to lose weight. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever get back to 19 stone ever again. If you could live in another country, which country would it be? Oh, that's a hard one. Somewhere hot. Somewhere hot. If I could live in another country. Oh, because there's like holiday places, isn't there? But like you wouldn't necessarily want to live there. I wouldn't want to live in America. I just don't think I would. I would want to live somewhere where I feel like I'm on permanent holiday. Do you know what? I feel like I would want to live in Italy. I feel like it's such a romantic country. I would like to live in Italy. Yeah, I'll just say Italy. Struggling to get started. I find you so motivating, but with 4 kids, full-time work, house and everything, life, I just can't get started. Any advice? I know what I need to do, but I just can't. I would say you don't have to go 0 to 100. You don't have to change your whole lifestyle. I understand like you're busy, you've got so much commitments, so just pick one thing and start with that. Whether that be you cut out fizzy drinks, or whether that be you, instead of getting takeaways, you make homemade meals, or you meal prep a little bit. But say like you're getting takeaways because you're so busy and you haven't got time to cook, maybe find some time where you can prep some meals and have it in the freezer ready for when you get home, and you can just chuck it in the microwave or in the oven or whatever. If you can, like, find space in your day where you can fit in a walk, or just try and find one thing that you can change and work on that. Like, you don't have to change your whole thing. Even if it is just starting to count calories, that will massively help. And it takes a little while to learn, but it won't affect the rest of your life. Like, you can still get on with everything that you need to get on with, but you just have to track like at the same time, and it can be a little bit more time consuming. But if you really want to lose weight, you will find that time just to learn how to do it and use an app. And once you have learned it, it's very quick and it just comes like second nature to you. So I would definitely say, like, just find one thing and start from there. You don't have to change everything at once, and I think that's where people end up going wrong. They think that they have to change everything, and it gets overwhelming. You know you haven't got time and you can't do it, so you just keep putting it off. Whereas you don't need to put it off. Just pick one thing, and it could be the thing that you are willing to change, if that makes sense. Like, just one little thing. You might, even if it feels insignificant, even if it is just swapping sugar for sweetener, you're saving calories, and if you do that, you will lose weight. Like, especially if you eat a lot of sugary foods, or if you eat a lot of chocolate, swapping that for something else. Hypothetically, how would you handle dating with loose skin? I feel like I need a disclaimer. How I would go about it is, for me, I feel like anyone that I would talk to, for example, would know that I have lost a lot of weight, and I would feel like it's common sense that they would know I have loose skin. And I share my loose skin anyway, but I feel like just being open and honest with them about how much you've lost weight, like that you've lost weight and how much weight you've lost and all this stuff. And you can, if you feel like it will make you feel more comfortable when you get intimate and stuff, you can say, listen, you know, I've lost a lot of weight, I do have a little bit of loose skin. Whether you're insecure about it or not, you can say, like, you know, I just want to let you know, just, you know, it's skin, that's all it is at the end of the day. If they can't accept the fact that you've got a little bit of loose skin, they don't deserve to be intimate with you anyway. So yeah, anyone that's like mature enough, man enough or whatever, they will accept it. And if they don't, then they're not the person for you anyway. And yeah, so you don't, I feel like you shouldn't necessarily have to disclaim it, but if it makes you feel more comfortable, then definitely just disclaim it. But that's how I would deal with it anyway. Did you start pole dancing? No, I haven't. We were literally going to book onto it, but then, like, what happened? Something happened. I think my car ended up having to get repaired, and I ended up having to spend £300 on my car when I was supposed to pay for the pole dancing. And obviously my car is a priority, so I was like, ugh, I'll put it off. And then obviously the next start date was in December, which is obviously this month, but we've got like Christmas and all that stuff, so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have to wait until the next start, which is like in January, I think. But I don't know, I have to contact her. Hopefully she'll still let us like do the pole dancing, but I definitely do still want to do pole dancing. It's just so many things have just come up and I'm like, ugh, I need to spend my money elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've already got loads of commitments and stuff, so yeah, that's why I haven't done it yet. But I do want to do it because I want to bring up my sexy side, learn a new skill. I feel like I would love to just do pole dancing. That's what I want to do. But yeah, how much calories did you eat when you started in 2020 January? Thanks. I started on 1,800 calories and I basically stayed on 1,800 calories throughout my whole weight loss, apart from there was a couple of months where I went down to 1,500, then I got extra hungry, my weight loss sped up way too much, and that was when I was lifting weights and stuff, so I had to increase it back to 1,800. So basically 1,800 for like my whole of my weight loss. Goals for the next 5 to 10 years. Oh, 5 to 10 years. So my goals, 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years. I don't think that far ahead, mate. This is pressure. I hate when people say like, what's your goals for 5 to 10 years? All right, my goal for 5 to 10 years. I don't know. I could tell you what I want to do like within the next couple of years. I want to do another bikini competition. I want to hit my 100,000 subscribers so I get my YouTube plaque. That's the goal for me. My goals for the next 5 to 10 years is to just, I don't know. Maybe I need to think about my life and like what I want to do in like 5 to 10 years. Because I don't know. Do you eat the same the days you go to the gym and those you don't? Yeah, I stick to the same kind of calories, although I give myself a range and I eat more when I'm more hungry and I eat less when I'm less hungry. And maybe, I know definitely on leg days I'm a lot more hungry, so I do eat a little bit more on leg days. For the most part, like, I don't actually have planned, okay, when I'm going to the gym I eat more and when I don't go to the gym I eat less. I don't have that. It's basically like the same. Just, I try to be a little bit more intuitive though. I listen to my body. If I'm more hungry, I'll just eat. Do you know what I mean? How do you deal with weight gain? I've been constantly sick this year. I gained weight because of eating out of sadness. I gained a few kilograms and it's hard for me to do even a tiny deficit. Just don't have the power to do it and I hate myself. I'm sorry to hear that. I feel like it's because you are in a very bad mental space. Like you said that you eating out of sad, and that's more like emotional eating and your mental health. So I feel like try and focus on your mental health first. Try and seek therapy. Go to the doctors if you like can or whatever, and try to see if you can get therapy or some medication or some kind of help that will help you with your mental health, and try to deal with the root cause of the sadness. So what are you sad about? Trying to figure out what you're sad, because eating and comforting yourself with food is only like a temporary fix, but it makes you feel worse in the long run. So it's not actually fixing anything and you're just trying to like numb the sadness without actually trying to fix it. So I'd say try to figure out why you're sad and what's causing these problems, and whether that be like working with a doctor with your mental health and stuff, and then focus on doing it very slow and just do things that make you feel good and that make you feel happier. Walking, going for like a 30-minute walk every day, finding an exercise that you enjoy, giving your body like just aim very simply to add like fruits or veg with every single meal. Fill up half your plate with it, not putting too much pressure on yourself to lose weight, but just trying to do things that make you feel good and eat food that makes your body feel good, which whole foods, fruits, vegetables, like protein, all that kind of food, that is going to make your body feel good, and nutrients and stuff. So more focus on that and try to get into a better place mentally, and then you can focus more on counting your calories and doing things to lose weight. But I would say definitely focus on first dealing with the reason why you overeat, like you're using food for comfort in the first place. How much power do you have at Skinny Food Co? We need it in the US. I don't have any power. I'm just an ambassador. Like, I literally just share the products with you guys. I don't have any power, unfortunately. If I lived closer to the HQ, yeah, I would actually work there. Like, I would actually work, that would be like one of my dream jobs, to just work there. No, I don't have any power. They do deliver to the US. I think it's like a $20 shipping fee, and it's only certain places in the US, and it's up to a weight limit. So you can always go on the website and check. But maybe as the company grows, if they see that they've got more interest in America and other countries, maybe they will be able to. I'm not sure exactly the reason why they can't, but yeah, I don't have any powers to change it. I would like to know if the school mums give you evils, etc. now that you're pretty and thin. Oh, thank you. Pretty and thin. No, no one really gives me any evils. I did once I lost weight. Yeah, what's the matter, baby? The school mums actually don't give me any dirty looks. If anything, when I first lost weight after lockdown and I went back, I got loads of mums who I'd never spoken to before come over to me and be like, oh my God, you lost so much weight, you look so good. Like, how did you do it? Kind of thing. So no one's actually given me any dirty looks. I've only ever had really positive. Well, if they do, I don't notice it. Either way. I don't actually look at people. The only time things I've noticed is when parents have like come over to me and said it and asked me like how I lost weight and stuff and just said that I look good. But I haven't noticed anyone give me dirty looks, but at the same time I am very oblivious. I'm the type of person that is so oblivious. Like people around me will be like, Louise, this person's looking at you or staring at you or whatever and you haven't even noticed. Yeah, like I literally just have like a tunnel vision. Like whenever I go anywhere, I don't look. I don't notice people. With lack of sleep, feeling tired, how do you stop sweet carb cravings? Well, obviously if you're not getting enough sleep, then you are going to be a little bit more hungry and less satiated and stuff, and you do have a lot more sweet cravings. So if that, say you out of no fault of your own, for whatever reason, you didn't have a lot of sleep and you are like feeling more peckish, I would literally say to just fill up on low calorie dense foods, eat like big salads or big like lots of veg, lots of lean proteins. And if you do have sweet cravings, what I like to do is eat like fruits, because obviously they're low calorie as well, like they're good for you as well. But like you could have like a big bowl of like fat-free Greek yogurt, put some protein powder in there to make it like chocolatey, like chocolate protein powder, chuck some fruits in, some Skinny Food Co syrup. I like to have that. Or you can make like your own anabolic donuts, like from Greg Doucette's cookbook, which are like basically donuts, you know what I mean? Like just foods like that. Just try to eat foods that are high in protein, because obviously protein is good to satiate you as well, and obviously we like protein, it's good for our muscles and all that stuff, and it's satiating. You want to make it like lower calorie so you can eat more of it for less calories. You don't want to eat like something that's very high calorie dense, and when you're feeling like that, you don't really want to go for like eating loads of chocolate bars when you've not had a lot of sleep, because it's so easy to overeat it and you're over consuming your calories, and when your goal is to lose weight, that's just not what we want to do, is it? So if you find ways to hit those cravings in a lower calorie way, then at least it's not as bad as if you was to just massively overeat on high calorie dense food. How many times a week do you train? Is that the same every week, and do you have specific cardio days or just fit it into your resistance training? I'm asking as I do resistance training 2 times a week and increasing steps for cardio, and try to do some home dumbbell workout once a week on top of that. And wonder if it's really enough to see any real progress. I love your channel, you're so inspiring and really down to earth. Oh, thank you. I do 5-day-a-week training. Obviously at the minute where the kids are off, it's hard for me to get into the gym. I'm trying to work it around, obviously. So, but as a rule, I normally go 5 days a week. So Monday to Friday when the kids are at school, I drop them off to school and I go in the morning to strength train. I go and do spin class in the evening on a Thursday. So that is my cardio. And then all the other days, my cardio is walking. I do have a bike at home, which I do aim to do cardio on, but I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I don't do it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just more, I do it more for fun, and in like my walking and my steps, that's more of my cardio. So that's how I do it. Hi, I know you had something about this in a video, but can you talk about this again? I am so PMS and then I still binge sometimes. I have lost 10 kilograms. Well done on losing 10 kilograms, but it is scary every PMS. Maybe take those days off. I feel like a wreck every time PMS. And all the food does not really make it better, it only worse, but the temptation is really bad for a week. Thank you a lot, love your videos, great advice. I would say like it is hard for us women with PMS and stuff, even though I don't necessarily get periods anymore because I'm on the implant. I do get PMS symptoms, so I 100% relate. And if you are losing weight and your goal is weight loss and you're in a calorie deficit, if you are noticing that your hunger is increasing, you're getting more cravings and stuff during that time of the week, I would say definitely just don't have your aim as weight loss that week. Go to maintenance that week, just give yourself those extra few calories. Like I say all the time, is to fill up on low calorie, high volume dense food, but also allow yourself to have foods that you crave, whether that be you can make a lower calorie version, and as long as it's still hitting that craving. If you are making lower calorie versions of the food that you're craving, but you're not feeling satisfied or satisfied with that, and you're eating it and then you still want to have, I don't know, a chocolate bar. Say you make like a big bowl of chocolate yogurt, like fat-free Greek yogurt, loads of fruit and syrup, and it's like chocolatey, but it doesn't hit that craving for the chocolate bar, then it's kind of like pointless, because then you will eventually just binge on chocolate bars. So if you allow yourself up to maintenance and allow yourself a couple 100 calories, and if the lower calorie high volume foods aren't satiating you, you are like hitting that sweet craving, that craving that you want, allow yourself to have that chocolate bar and fit it within your calories up to maintenance. And in that way you're not feeling like you're deprived, because the more you deprive yourself of it, the more you kind of want it, and more like you put it on like a pedestal. Like this, say I always use chocolate bar, but for example I love chocolate, so say if you put the chocolate bar on a pedestal and you're like, I can't have it, I'm not allowed to have it, and I'm just going to eat all of these low calorie volume foods and stuff, but I'm not allowed to have it even though I'm eating to maintenance and stuff. If you don't allow yourself to have it, then eventually your willpower will run out and you will allow yourself to have it, and because you've restricted yourself from it, you're more likely to just not have that one chocolate bar and have like 10 until you feel sick, and then you end up feeling guilty and then you restrict yourself. So that's like an unhealthy mindset around food. So what I like to do is, if I really crave something, if I'm just having like a chocolatey craving but nothing in particular, I like to just make my fat-free Greek yogurt with chocolate protein powder in there and like chocolate syrup from Skinny Food Co and stuff, like with fruits. Or I like to make like anabolic ice cream, chocolate ice cream, or I have like my Skinny Food Co chocolate bars, or if sometimes I'll just have a normal chocolate bar, whatever I'm kind of craving, whatever. But if I am craving, and I have a very specific craving for, say, a chocolate bar or whatever, as long as you're fitting it within your calories, there's nothing wrong with it, and you shouldn't feel any guilt or anything for having it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, as long as you have that chocolate bar, and you just have that one chocolate bar and you just move on and you get on with eating like the rest of your meals is healthy, it's not a bad thing. So I would just say, like, allow yourself to have one thing every day that you're craving, and just be kind to yourself, and like don't put too much pressure on yourself during that time. Like, us women we have it hard with PMS, mate. Yeah, it's not easy. So yeah, just try to do things that make your body feel good when you're PMSing. Sometimes like you feel like you don't want to get up and do anything, but even just getting up and going out for a walk, I say this all the time, but it makes you feel so much better. So if you can get up, go out for a walk, go and move your body in a way that makes your body feel good. Exercise is really good for when you're PMSing, even if you don't feel like it. If you push yourself to do it, most of the time you're going to feel so much better than if you didn't do it. So yeah, that's what I would say. Your skin always looks so lovely. Just curious if you've had any Botox or anything like that. No, I haven't. No surgeries, el natural, apart from the makeup I wear. Do you suffer badly with IBS, and if so, how do you manage it? I do suffer with IBS, and I have done since I was basically like a teenager, basically since I was a teenager, definitely since I had my first son. I've kind of suffered with symptoms of it, and it progressively got worse and stuff, and then it gets worse and then it gets better and then it gets worse. It just flares up randomly. But I experienced it the worst just after I did my bikini competition, when I got down to like really low body fat, and I think just where I ended up having to be quite restrictive with my diet, it definitely interfered with like my gut, if that makes sense. Like, I can't explain it, but once I started to eat different foods again, oh, my IBS was so bad. I was getting really bad painful bloating, but to the point where if I ate something that was a little bit different to what I was used to during prep, my belly would bloat out so much and I looked like I was pregnant, and it was painful, and I'd lay there crying my eyes out, like literally, and I just kind of like had to put up with it, if that makes sense. Like, I had to start taking tablets, which at first I was taking Buscopan, but then I got prescribed this other tablets, which I'm not actually taking anymore. I only take it when my IBS flares up, which since I've gone back to a healthy body fat, I don't really have any IBS symptoms. Sometimes there's certain foods that trigger it. If I go out to eat, and I like to eat like veg when I'm out, but like I went and got a Buddha bowl at Turtle Bay, and I don't know what it was in there, but it triggered my IBS and I got really painful bloating. But for me, it's just, if I feel like my stomach is feeling a little bit sensitive, I have to be just cautious of what I eat. Like red onions, they trigger my IBS sometimes, but other times they don't, so it's just random. Like, it's just trying to figure out what my triggers are. Sometimes sweeteners can trigger it, and other times it doesn't. It just all depends on how I'm feeling. If I know I'm going through like a bout of IBS, if that makes sense, where we have a flare up, then I really do try to cut back on the amount of like sweeteners I have, amount of onions I have, and like just try to like not have broccoli, things like that. That trigger it, and I try not to have too much dairy, because that can trigger it sometimes as well. So it is just trying to manage that, and then taking the medication on the days where I feel like I can feel it. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes it just happens randomly, and Oh, it is horrible when it gets triggered. That's all the time I've got to answer questions today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please leave a like, comment down below some more weight loss questions, and I'll be sure to answer them in my next weight loss Q&A. I will be doing weight loss Q&As regularly, so yeah, just make sure that you leave them down below, and make sure you're subscribed with the bell button clicked, so that when I do post in the community tab, that you can see it and write your questions on there. And make sure you're following me on Instagram, Louise's Journey 2.0 XO. That's where I ask sometimes questions. I put up a little question box on my stories as well, and I've also made a TikTok, guys. Go follow me on there. It's Louise's Journey, so go follow me on there. I'll leave all my links down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.